everyone. Today we're going to do a sequence that focuses on some balance poses. So that means that we're going to do a little bit of core work, or you're going to feel your core engage in many of these poses because the seat of balance is actually in the pelvis. So that's kind of where your focus is going to be for many of these poses. Okay, so we'll start on the cross-leg position to begin, Sukhasana. So mid-shin is crossed, feet are more or less underneath the knees, and then you'll need to reach back and move the buttock flesh out of the way. Then roll the shoulders back, open across your chest, and start to bring the head back in line. I want to take a few moments, sit quietly, so bring your hands together in front of your heart, heel the hands at the base of the sternum. Go ahead and close your eyes, take some time to settle in. And just find physical center with your body. So left and right, also front and back. And as you find that centered place, consciously ground your hips and thighs downward. Keep lifting your spine upward. As you create more space through the front of your body, notice your breathing here. So easy inhalations and easy exhalations. Help your mind to focus and prepare for yoga practice. Now maintaining the lift of your chest, bow your head, chin towards your chest. And release your hands to your thighs. Next inhalation, bring your head to center. And open your eyes. Let's stretch your arms. So interlace your fingers, we'll turn your palms to face out. And as you stretch your arms, like to relax your shoulders down. We'll drop weight through the hips, let's inhale the arms up. Straight elbows, so squeeze the upper arms in towards your ears. Push through the heel of the hands of fingers to and lengthen. Lengthen the sides of the body completely. Now keep the lift, release the arms. Let's try behind the back, interlacing there. I want you to roll the shoulders back, open across your chest, and take an easy breath here. Work on straightening the elbows behind you, pulling the hands towards the floor. Let's release, we'll come back in front, change the interlace, so other first fingers on top. Again, palms are out, shoulders down, hips heavy. We'll inhale the arms back up. Get nice length through the sides of the body. So as you drop the thighs down, lift your waist, ribs, chest, stretch the arms fully. Again, keep the lift, release the arms. Let's try one more time behind the back, unfamiliar clasping. And again, shoulders back and down. Open and lift your chest, take an easy breath. Good, and we'll release. Let's take a side stretch. So inhale, take your right arm up, left hand's on the floor. As you exhale, we'll bend to the side. Keeping the right hip nice and heavy, use the arm and pull the rib cage away from the hip. Good, let's release. We'll try side two. So left arm is up. Again, descend the left hip down as you stretch and open through the left side. Good, and we'll come back up. Now you want to keep all that lift in your body. We're going to go ahead and twist towards your right side. So lengthen as you inhale, turn as you exhale. And again, up the body through the rib cage. And up around the shoulders, upper part of your back. Next breath, inhale, lift up, and exhale, release. Let's change sides. So again, lengthen as you inhale, turn as you exhale. And again, up the body through the ribs. And up around the shoulders, upper part of your back. Good, and let's release. Okay, from here, we'll keep warming up the body. We'll do some cat-cow, puppy pose, and some dog pose. Okay, so we can come around to hands and knees. If you need to have a blanket for your knees for a little bit of padding, certainly have it. If you don't need it, that's fine too. We'll bring the hands right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take a breath in as you exhale. Tuck your head, tuck your tail, round your back. And as you inhale, head and tail come back up, spine goes down. We'll go back and forth a few times. So round as you exhale the air out, releasing as you inhale. Feel that you can stretch your back muscles one direction, letting release opposite way too. From here, we'll move to puppy pose. We'll curl the toes under, hips are back, arms are forward, lengthen out the spine. And take a little side stretch, both hands walk to the right. Pulling both hips back, especially the left hip reaching forward through the left arm, taking an easy breath. And walking back to center. Good length through the center. And then to the second side. Again, pulling both hips back, especially the right hip reaching forward through the right arm. Easy breath. And then back towards center again. From here, we'll lift a dog pose. Make sure the hands are shoulder width apart. Feet should be hip width. Make sure you have external rotation out of the arms, internal rotation in the legs. And then if you need to walk in place a little bit, stretch out your legs, you certainly can. Take your time stretching here. Anytime you'd like to come down and rest, of course you do so. From here, we're going to move to the floor. You might want to have a belt nearby when we do the leg stretch. All right? So you can lie down on your back. And we'll start by bringing the knees in towards your chest. So you can choose to do one leg at a time. You can do both legs together. It's something that feels good for you. Just something that you can use to stretch out that lower back. You can do some movement if you like. You can do happy baby if you like. It's whatever feels good for your body. We'll also want to do some windshield wiper legs as well. So let the feet be a little wider apart, maybe as wide as a sticky mat, and then wave the legs left and right. Feet, ankles roll, hips are going to roll too. If you want to add the side stretch, same side arm goes overhead as the hip and back that you're stretching. But again, as much or as little stretch that feels good for your body. Good. Once you've had enough, you're ready to move on. We'll move to reclined mountain pose, Supta Tadasana. So legs are close together, no more than hip width apart. Push through the heels and the balls of the feet, leg muscles on. Upper arms pressing down, opening up through the chest. If the back tends to arch in this position, make sure abs are tight, tailbone is down. Keeping the legs firm, let's inhale and take the arms up and overhead. This is Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing arms. From this position, stretch long, hips to heels, waist to the fingers, lengthening the body. Not allowing the back to arch, so make sure abs are tight, buttocks are towards the heels. Terrific, and then we can release. And let's bend your legs, so we'll grab your belt, we'll do the leg stretch with the belt, Supta Padangusthasana. So you can belt up your right foot to begin. You want to make the right leg like a mountain pose leg. So press through the heel and the ball of the foot, make sure the quad is on, and then left leg can straighten along the floor, pushing out through that heel, ball of the foot as well. Little by little, you can ease the leg in to stretch the back of the thigh. And then when you're ready to move the leg to the side, you want to make sure core is on, pelvis feels stable as you open the leg. Pulling the outer side of the leg back towards the hip, stretching the inner leg. Making sure, again, you feel secure through the pelvis, that your left thigh stays down. Let's inhale, we'll bring the leg back up, changing hands. We'll come across the body. Inhale, bring the leg back up. Keeping the leg up, we'll release the belt. Inhale, arms overhead, abs tight, and we'll stretch the leg all the way down. Taking the time to feel the two sides and how they might differ. And then we'll go on and do side two. So let's belt your left foot. Again, taking some time to press up through the heel, the ball of the foot. Quad on. Right leg can lengthen when you're ready. Pushing out through that heel, ball of the foot as well. Again, little by little, easing the leg in. Now, again, I want to make sure before I open the leg to the side that I feel secure through the pelvis. So abs tight, hips are squeezed in towards each other as I open the leg towards the side. The inner leg is lengthening out, outer leg is pulled back towards the hip, so I feel secure through the pelvis. Right thigh stays down. I can inhale, bring the leg back up. We'll change hands and we'll start to come across the body. And then I can inhale, bring the leg back up. Again, we'll keep the leg up, release the belt. Arms are up and overhead, abs are tight, and then I can stretch the leg all the way down. Terrific. I'm going to come back up, so if you want to bring your knees in towards your chest again, you can. And then from here, we're going to go into dog pose. We're going to do lunge, we'll do pigeon pose, and we're going to do some balancing, some core work balancing poses in that sequence. Okay? Okay, let's move to dog pose. We're going to be doing lunge, we're going to be pigeon, and some balancing poses within this sequence. Okay, so you do as much or as little as you can. So let's move to dog pose first. Again, hands shoulder width apart, feet are hip width. Pulling up through the front of the thigh, stretching the back of the leg too. We'll warm up a little bit with a plank position. So top part of the push-up, make sure abs are tight, tailbone is down. When you lower down for chaturanga, keep your elbows in tight. From here, pressing the pelvis on the floor, shoulders are back, elbows are in. This is cobra pose. We'll release and we'll head back to the dog pose. From here, we'll go to lunge. So right foot forward, all the way to where your hands are. Back knee is down. Have padding for the knee if you want it. Make sure core is on. Abs are tight, back buttock is firm. And with the hip forward and down, we'll inhale and take the arms up and overhead. Use the arms and pull the rib cage higher. Good, let's release. We'll head back to the dog pose. Lifting up through the hips. Side two. So left foot is forward, right knee is down. Again, make sure core is on, abs are tight, back buttock is firm. Bringing the hip forward and down to stretch the front of the hip. Again, we'll inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Be firm through the pelvis as you lift the spine up. Good, let's release. We'll head back to the dog pose again. Lifting up through the hips. We'll try plank chaturanga again, so elbows in as you lower down. Again, shoulders back, elbows in, opening through the chest. Let's release, head back to the dog pose. From here, pigeon pose, so bend your right knee, bring that knee forward underneath the chest and set it down, back leg is straight. Front leg should have a lot of external rotation, back leg should have a bunch of internal rotation, and come down off the wrist for a bit. Should be stretching that right buttock, should not bother the knee. Now we're going to come back up, and what we're going to do is from here, we're going to swing the back leg forward into Gomukhasana, cow face pose, just the bottom. So you want to bring that knee more towards the middle line of the body. We'll swing the back leg around, trying to stack the knees one on top of the other. Getting that left sit bone to drop down, bring the spine up, couple breaths. If you're not getting enough stretch in the hips, you can lean forward until you find it. Good, now we're going to release. We're going to try some balance, some core work from here. So what I'll ask you to do is grab a hold of your big toes and balance on the sit bones. Okay, think about abs tight, hips squeezed in. We're going to go to Upavista Konasana, wide angle. Trying to balance here. From this position, we're going to go to Ubaya Padagustasana. Both legs are straight, both legs are together. From here, Parapunanavasana, our full boat pose. And then Ardha Navasana, lowering the torso, lowering the legs, eyes and toes same level. We're going to come back up, Parapuna. Grab a hold of the toes all the way back up, Ubaya Padagustasana, Upavista Konasana, and then Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. We made it. From here, again, you can do a little bit of hip opening. If you want to come forward a bit, you certainly can. Now to come out, we go to hands and knees, go back to the dog pose, or you can cross the ankles, plant the hands, give a hop back, and you're back to your dog pose. But again, you could also just go to hands and knees and go back to dog pose. Now, second side, so bend your left leg. We'll bring the knee forward underneath the chest and set it down. Again, back leg does internal rotation, front leg does external, and then come down off the wrist again for a bit. Again, should not be uncomfortable for the knee at all, but the stretch should be in the buttock. Now from here, again, we're going to come up and we're going to swing the back leg forward into Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So move the knee more towards the midline of the body, swing the back leg around, and trying to stack the knees one on top of the other, best of your ability. Okay, if it's really difficult, you could sit on a little bit of height. You could also straighten out the front leg if you have knee problems. But if you're okay to stay in Gomukhasana, we will. That's kind of like a double pigeon. And then getting the right sit bone to drop down, sides of the body lift up. If you're not getting enough stretch on the hips, you can lean forward. Okay, that part's up to you. Now we get another shot at the balance poses, these core poses. Okay, so when you're ready, you can release the legs. Make sure you have enough room to lie down behind you. Not that that's going to happen, but you're going to grab hold the big toes. Find your balance point, core on, and we're going to take the legs wide apart, Upavista. Try not to roll backwards. From this position, Ubaya Padagustasana, both legs together, keeping the chest lifted. Then Parapunanavasana, full boat pose. Toes are higher than eye level. And then Ardhanavasana, eyes and toes same level. We're going to come back up, Parapuna, woo. Grab hold of the toes, Ubaya Padagustasana, Upavista Konasana, and then Baddha Konasana. We made it. We'll be happy that there's not more than 2 sides to practice here. Again, you can do a little Baddha Konasana coming forward to open up the hips, or you can just stay upright. Again, you can go back to hands and knees to get back to the dog pose, or you can cross the ankles, plant the hands, give that little hop back, and you're back into your dog pose. From here, again, plank, chaturanga, elbows in. Again, shoulders back, open through the chest, and then we'll release. Heading back to the dog pose. Good. Now, we'll come down and rest for a moment. We're going to do another balance pose. This one is called Vasisthasana, or side planks. Now, I'm going to give a modification the first time, and then the second time we'll demonstrate the full pose. But again, you do what you can do, what you feel comfortable with. Okay? So the idea is that you want to feel as though you're doing mountain pose, but on your side. Okay, if you have wrist problems, skip this and just fast forward to the next part of the sequence. Okay, so I'm going back to dog pose. And I'm going to bring the feet together in the center line of the body. I'm going to roll towards my left side first, and I'm going to go ahead and plant my right foot in front of me as I roll to the side. Now I want to keep the hip lifted, armpit lifted as well. I'm going to stretch the top arm up. All right, then I can roll back to the dog pose. Same thing, second side. Feet go parallel to each other, close together, forward to plank. Again, as I roll to my right, I'm going to plant that left foot in front, keep the hip lifted, armpit lifted as well. I'm going to come back to the dog pose. Now, for the full pose, I'm going to, again, think about mountain pose a whole bunch. So feet go close together, forward to the plank. Again, I'm going to keep the hips lifted as I roll to the left side. Pushing through the heels, abs stay tight, hips stay lifted as well. I'll come back down, back to the dog pose. Last side. So feet together, forward to plank, rolling over towards my right side, pressing out through the heels, trying to stack the hips, keeping the hips lifted. And then back to the dog pose. All right, and then I can come down and rest. Again, you can certainly practice that a few times if you like. You rest when you're done. Okay, let's do some standing poses. So let's stand in mountain pose to begin with the feet parallel, 10 toes ahead, leg muscles on. Then roll the shoulders back, open across your chest, stretch down through the fingertips. Just take an easy breath. If the back tends to arch, make sure abs are tight, tailbone is down. Good. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. This is Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing arms. Use your arms and pull the rib cage higher, pressing down from the buttocks down to the heels, lengthening the sides. Good, and let's release. Now let's try a balance pose. We're going to try tree pose. Okay, so from this position, we're going to stand on one leg, taking the other leg up. Foot, we want to go high up on the inner thigh if possible, and push the foot into the leg into the foot, with the shoulders back and the open chest. Okay, make sure core is on, From this position, you can inhale and add the arms. Same arms as before, Urdhva Hastasana. So use the arms and lift the rib cage higher. Stay firm from the buttocks down to the heel. And you can release. Now, if your foot won't stay there, you can put it down to the lower level. So don't push on the knee itself, so you can have to go above or below, either the shin or the thigh. That totally works. Same thing, you take the arms up and overhead. Okay? Let's do side 2. So when you're ready, standing on one leg, do not lock the knee. And again, taking the foot down to the lower part of the leg or the upper part of the leg, whichever one is going to work better for you today. And push the foot into the leg into foot, and stabilize. Turn on all the core muscles. Again, from here, we'll take the arms up and overhead, using those arms to lift the rib cage higher, opening up through the hip, firm through the middle. To release, release the arms and release the legs, coming back to mountain pose. Now, if balance didn't feel very good that time, you can certainly repeat this pose as many times as you like. Some variations is to look up while you're in the pose to bring the hands together. Okay, so we'll repeat the pose one more time here for the video. Again, if you're like, yeah, no, you could just skip ahead. But again, if you'd like a little bit of help, balance usually takes some practice. So maybe using this time to practice, face towards a wall perhaps. Maybe don't watch me on the video, okay? But finding a spot to focus on where things aren't moving in front of you. Again, maybe taking the arms up, palms to face each other, fingertips touching, looking up. Side 2, when you're ready. Again, use a wall for a little bit of support if you like. Go to the lower part of the leg. It is up to you. But again, trying to utilize all that core stability around the pelvis for help with balance. Again, take your time. Maybe looking up, maybe squeezing the arms in so the palms will touch. Lifting upwards. Terrific. Now to give the mind a little rest, you want to do a little bit of a wide leg forward bend or dog pose, whichever one you want to choose. So I'll do the wide leg forward bend with the legs wide apart, toes in, heels out, folding forward at the hips. Folding down any amount, releasing the head and neck. To come up, use the legs, and up you come. Coming back to mountain pose. Now let's also do Trikonasana triangle pose. So from mountain pose, we'll take the legs wide apart, turning the right leg all the way out 90 degrees, back toes are turned in just a bit. Make sure legs are firm, lots of external rotation in this front leg, nice and stable through the pelvis as you lean towards the side. Keep the bottom side of the body just as long as the top side. And think about, again, stability at the pelvis through the legs so that the spine can lengthen out. To come up, use that back leg, upper arm to help pull yourself up and out. We'll do side 2. So again, left leg turned out 90 degrees, back toes are in. Front leg is doing a lot of external rotation, back leg just meets it, core on. Again, we're going to go ahead and hinge the body towards the side, lengthening the torso. Again, staying stable at the pelvis, around the hips, so that the spine can lengthen. From here, again, back leg, upper arm will pull you up and out. All right. Now we'll come back to mountain pose. We're going to also do half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You knew this was going to happen because I said it when we were doing some balance poses. So you may need to have a block. If so, it's going to be behind your right ankle. Okay. When you're ready for mountain pose, we'll take the arms and legs wide apart. We'll turn the right leg all the way out 90 degrees, back toes are in. We're going from triangle pose, Trikonasana, the pose we just did, into the half moon, back down into triangle pose again. Think about stability at the pelvis. Right? When you're ready, hinging the body towards the right, lengthening the spine out. Again, from here, we're going to drop the top arm down, bend your front leg a lot, use that block, walk it forward or your hand forward, take a small step in. From this position, you're going to straighten that right leg. Now again, looking for stability around the pelvis. So squeezing in through the abs, through the hips, and lengthening out the body. Finding stability at the core so the body can lengthen and be light. When you want out, you're going to bend your front leg, back heel on the floor, pushing the weight to the back leg, stable through the pelvis as you go back to triangle pose. Now inhale and come back up. Terrific. If you're using the block, change sides with the block. And it'll be behind your left ankle. Left leg is turned all the way out. Back toes are in just a bit. Press the feet, firm the legs. Stretch the arms and open the chest. Same thing. So again, into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Feeling again, stability through the pelvis. Hips squeezed in, abs tight. So you move to half moon, drop your top arm down, bend your front leg, walk the block or your hand forward, take a small step in with the back foot. When you're ready, you're going to go and stand on that front leg. Again, looking to stabilize through the pelvis, lengthen out through the spine. Finding again stability through the pelvis, but lightness through the body. When you want down, bend your front leg, back heel on the floor, back to Trikonasana, triangle pose, and then coming up and out. Again, from here, you can take the wide leg forward bend. You can take dog pose, either one. Releasing down. And again, using the legs, and up you come. Coming back to mountain pose. Now, if you didn't have much luck with that, you might want to repeat it a couple times. There's lots of different ways that you can practice this pose with your back against a wall or a kitchen counter or the couch, something that's steady that won't move on you, and you can use that for a little bit of help with the balance as you work on the pelvis. Other ways you can work is with one foot up into the wall, or again, using height underneath that hand. Blocks work great. Okay? So if you need to practice a pose again, pause the video, practice a few more times, and then we'll move on. Okay, we're going to do one more pose, and it's actually Anatasana, which is also known as Vishnu's couch. Okay, and it's not going to look like it, but once you try it, you will understand that it is also a balance pose. So what you'll want to do is lie down on one side. I'm going to lie on my right side, and I want to try to line up my body with either the front or the back edge of the mat as much as I can, so that way I know I'm straight. Most of the time what happens is the legs go forward and the torso goes forward, so you end up in kind of a banana shape, and that's not what we're looking for. So you want to keep your legs and torso in one line. And then it's as if you were doing mountain pose on your side. So you're pressing out through the heels, the balls of the feet, leg muscles are firm, and the core is on as well. And you might be able to see that I'm wavering a bit right now because I'm trying to stay stable. Okay? Now, if I just roll to my backside, I can stay here, but I'm not straight. So again, I'm rolling the pelvis a little forward, so I'm balancing on my side. Right? Now, if this is enough work just to stay here, you could just stay here. Next position would be to bring your legs up as almost as if you were doing like a tree pose here. Okay, and again, trying to pull the buttock forward, knee goes back like you did in tree pose. And then we're going to try to keep the torso firm. Maybe we're going to grab a hold of the big toe and stretch the leg up. I'm using my bottom leg quite a bit to try to stabilize myself, kind of like I did in the side planks. So again, trying to stabilize the pelvis. Whoa! Pulling the pelvis forward so I don't roll back. This is Vishnu's couch. It's kind of fun. So to do the second side, you could just roll over and do the second side. But since I don't want to bring my back to you, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. Okay, so I'll get to lie on my left side. And again, I want to do my best to try to line up with the back edge of the sticky mat. Okay, if this is not good for your neck, you could put your head all the way down. But what it looks like in the books is that your head is propped up like you were lying on a couch. Okay, so again, trying to find that sense of stability through the pelvis, core on, legs on. Yeah. You might find that one side's harder than the other. I just found my tough side. So you're going to keep pressing out through the heels. Maybe I need to use the hand in front for a little bit of help. And then maybe the leg's going to come up into like a tree pose. Whoa. Bringing the pelvis forward so you don't roll back. And then maybe we'll bring the leg up. You could also use a belt to catch the ankle or the foot, and maybe stretch the leg up. Again, I'm trying to bring that pelvis forward. Whoa, so I don't roll back. That's definitely my tougher side. So you can play around with this pose a bit. Again, it's called Vishnu's couch or Anatasana. Okay? But when you're done having fun, I'll ask you to do bridge pose, a recline twist, and then Savasana. Okay? So you can lie down. No blankets underneath you for bridge pose. Legs are bent, feet about hip width apart. Walk the heels just closer to the buttocks, just a bit. And then I want to press the shoulders down and open across the chest, but I need to make sure that the abs are tight when I do so. Then I'll lift the hips, squeeze the buttocks. Don't turn your head, don't look at me, but go ahead and roll onto the tops of the shoulders. You can clasp your hands underneath, press down into the feet, press down to the upper arm, and lift the hips and chest. Spend a few easy breaths here, keeping abs, buttocks tight, buttocks towards the knees. Now, when you want out, release the arms first. Keep that little tuck of the tail as you roll the spine back down. And from here, we'll bring the legs in towards your chest. For a reclined twist, we'll keep the right knee in, stretch the left leg out. Hug the knee with your left arm. Right arm could go out to the side. And then you're going to bring the leg across your body into a little reclined twist. Let's inhale, bring the leg back up. Both knees will come back in towards your chest. And then, of course, the second side. So left knee stays in, right leg stretches out. Hug with the right arm as we bring the leg across the body. Just a nice, easy way to stretch out the lower back. Now we'll inhale and bring the leg back up. Hug both knees back in toward your chest one more time just to realign the body. And then we'll get ready for relaxation, Savasana. So if you'd like to grab a blanket for your head, a bolster for underneath your knees, please do so. So take some time here to adjust your body well as you lie down. Always look for symmetry, left side and right, making any minor adjustments necessary. And take a moment to roll your shoulders back, open across your chest, let the arms release out towards your sides, palms are facing up. And make sure low back is comfortable. If you need more space, lift your hips, slide the buttocks towards your heels. And once you get your body all settled in, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let your body relax down. And just see if you can let go of all muscular tension throughout your body. So make sure abdomen is soft around the hips, lower back. And allow your hips and your legs to be very heavy, no longer having to work. Now as the lower body releases, find softness all the way up along the spine. Letting all the back muscles rest, let go of your shoulders, let go of your arms. Feel here, head in line with the rest of the spine, so the neck muscles can soften, head heavy. Letting go of tension through the jaw, throat, tongue. Quiet around your eyes and your ears. And as you rest your physical body completely now, bring all of your awareness inward towards your breathing. Just easy inhalations and easy exhalations. Letting the body and the mind rest. Now let your next few breaths be deeper. You can bend your elbows, bring your hands towards your abdomen, taking some time to feel your breath in your body. Noticing if breath feels smoother, easier for you now. Taking this time to thank your body. Now move slowly, move gently. As you feel ready, bend your legs. If it feels good to pull the knees in one more time, do so. You can roll gently towards your side, rest on your side a few breaths. And then use your arms to gently help yourself back up to a seated position. Now just take some time to sit, take the time to check in, see how you feel. Noticing the effects of your yoga practice. Noticing your overall posture. Maybe more stability through the pelvis, better lift and length up through the spine. Sense of space, quality of breath, quality of mind. Let's inhale. Take the arms up. Exhaling, hands down to the heart. Namaste. The goodness in me bows to the goodness in you.